What's up, YouTube? It's Heretic here. What's going on? Anyway, I'm back with another Fates Collide deck profile. Like the previous one with Alakazam, this one will also be standard format. And today we are looking at Zygarde-Regirock and the new knockoff G-Booster card, Power Memory. So we're going to include some other new stuff. We got Carbink BREAK in here to charge stuff up, so lots of energy acceleration and re-acceleration to help work out. Something fighting types have not had in a long time, outside of Baby Landorus. So we're going to start off with 3 Zygarde-EX. So this guy, he's got 3 attacks. He's got 190 HP, which is kind of cool. The first one does 20 for 1 fighting. If there's a stadium in play, it does 20 more. The second one for a fighting and a colorless does 60, it just heals 30 off it. Nothing too special there. And then the third one for 2 fighting and a colorless just does 100. So it's kind of similar to Lucario, except it doesn't draw you cards, but Power Memory is gonna change all that. Like I said, mediocre attacks, good for 1 energy, but you know, like fighting decks right now in the meta are struggling a little bit, so we're gonna try to see if we can't come up with a build that maybe can help them out. But in any case, lots of new toys and 3 Zygarde-EX as our main attacker. Next, we got 3 Regirock-EXs. For those of you guys that don't know, this guy is like Deoxys-EX from Team Plasma, only for fighting types instead of Plasma Pokemon. All your fighting types do 10 more damage with their attacks, except for Regirock-EX for each one. It's his ability, so you just bench these guys and Zygarde does more damage. Pretty simple. Pretty crazy when you combine that with like Fighting Stadium, Strong Energy, all that stuff. Just do more and more and more damage. Got 3 of those. Next we run the Carbink line. We run 2 Safeguard Carbinks. There's 2 different Carbinks that come in the new set. So we run 2 copies of this one. He has Safeguard, his ability from Suicune and Sigilyph. He's prevent all effects of attacks, including damage done to him by Pokemon EX. And then the third one has an ability called Energy Keeper, which protects all of our basic energies attached to our Pokemon from effects of trainer cards and attacks and stuff like that, so like Crushing Hammer and all that. So we only run 1 of him because we figured as long as you can get him out, he's pretty good against, like I said, Crushing Hammers and stuff like that. So it only protects basic energies, but it still helps keep our energy presence on board, which is very, very important, especially when Zygarde needs 3 energy to start launching its big attack. Then we also play 3 copies of Carbink BREAK. And Carbink BREAK is another really nifty card. You drop it on top of the Carbink, you maintain your ability, so either your Energy Keeper or your Safeguard, and you gain a little extra HP, it goes up to 110. And for 1 fighting, he does 20 damage, plus he accelerates any 2 energy cards from the discard pile onto any one of your fighting Pokemon. So you can re-accelerate strong energies, basic fighting, so on and so forth, basically allowing us to reuse Zygarde-EX and the Power Memory attack, which I'll get to here in a little bit. We also finally round out our Pokemon lineup with 2 Shaymin-EX, just for some extra draw power. So that's our Pokemon line. We got 4 Professor Sycamore. Start out our supporters because the deck's made by me, and I just play Sycamore in every format because, yeah, it's that way I don't have to switch out between it and Juniper. But since we're in standard, all Sycamore all the way. Next is 3N. This card returning to standard format is really, really, I think, going to shake things up. I know Night March has problems with late game ends. You guys may have seen that in my Night March Mew match against Joshua Sutherland, and he played Mega Alakazam against me. You saw the raw power of N in that matchup. But 3 Ns for a consistent shuffle draw. And we play 3 Karinas. All of our Pokemon except for Shaymin are fighting types, so there's no reason not to play Karina. And if Item Lock continues to stay big, which I think Vileplume and Trevenant and all that stuff will throughout the summer, being able to search for our Pokemon with a supporter card instead of just relying on Ultra Ball all the time and drawing into it with Sycamore and N is definitely valuable to have. I also think the reintroduction of N is going to force more conventional supporter lines to reappear, as opposed to the turbo engines we've been seeing of the last 6 months. 2 copies of Lysander, just to be able to pick and choose our knockouts. We can one-shot anything with Power Memory, so by all means do so. And then 1 Hex Maniac, because if we go up against another Carbink with Safeguard or something, sometimes we might want to be able to knock that out, and we might not have our own Carbink handy to do so. So, 1 Hex Maniac doesn't hurt there. And also be good just to shut down abilities like Bronzong and the such, Bats, Alakazam, etc. We play 3 fighting stadiums. Stadium of choice, obviously, in a fighting type deck. Do 20 more damage to active Pokemon EX on our opponent's side with our fighting type attacks. So just Zygarde hitting 20, 40 because there's a stadium, 60 because of the effective fighting stadium. Just really crazy. Got a strong energy, you're up to 80. So kind of interesting stuff you can do on turn 1. Items, we play 4 VS Seekers to get our supporters back, because why wouldn't you? It's one of those cards that I see some people run 3 and do well with it, but I just cannot justify cutting a VS Seeker. At least not, with the exception of like a couple of random rogue decks and Vileplume. Next we have 4 Max Elixirs. This is for early charge up with our basic fighting energies to try and get a Zygarde. Our first Zygarde usually charged up. We want to use Max Elixirs and manual attachments. After that, we can use Carbink BREAK to charge up the ones after that, or to recharge after it, we use the All Cells Burn from Power Memory. So Max Elixir, just in a lot of my testing too, just proving to be a really powerful card. So by all means, take advantage of that. And we also play 2 copies of Energy Switch. So maybe we start the Zygarde active, so we Max Elixir here, and it ends up on one of these guys. We can just go ahead and go, okay, Energy Switch, bring it over there. Or if we All Cells Burn, maybe we got more than 3 energy, we can just Energy Switch again. Just keep our energy on the board and make the most out of it. Play 3 Ultra Ball. Now, I found the 3-3 balance of Ultra Ball and Karina to be a bit more stable than just running 4 Karinas and say only 1 or maybe 2 Ultra Balls, since we do play 2 Shaman and we want to be able to take advantage of the setup ability. However, I still think 3 Karinas is necessary even with 3 Ultra Ball. You know, it's just not maxing out on either one, just kind of going 50-50 on these, mainly off the fact that we can Karina and then also actually grab the Ultra Ball for a Shaman off the item half of Karina as well. We play 1 Escape Rope. I've actually learned a lot about this card and learned to like it a lot, playing Night March against Jolteon, and then just kind of the whole Escape Rope Lysander trick. Also just playing heavy EX decks against stuff like Regice, where they resistance Blizzard, and you gotta have a way to reset that effect. So that's definitely beneficial there. And then finally we come to our big kahuna, 3 Power Memory. With this Pokemon Tool card is like a lot like G-Booster, only not as an ace spec, so it's a little less powerful, but it grants Zygarde-EX the attack All Cells Burn, which, crazy name there. Sounds pretty traumatic, actually. For 2 fighting and a colorless, dealing 200 damage and discarding 3 energy attached to Zygarde. That is where Carbink BREAK then comes in, uses its attack, recharges our Zygarde. Maybe we energy switch the 1 energy from Carbink after that, and then just Escape Rope out of the active, or you can use Float Stone, or we run 2 of those as well, and just turn around and be like, okay, well, we attacked, we took 2 prizes, switch back, or we can just start manually recharging and just using the smaller attacks on the way there if we can't get out of the active. So definitely some choices to go with there. A lot of fun stuff you can do. And then finally for energy, we play 4 Strong, because fighting deck, so why wouldn't you? I mean, the card's just obscenely powerful. It and Regirock can help All Cells Burn actually hit all the way up to 240 or even 250 damage if you're facing Wailord. Get knockouts on whatever you need. And then we play a total of 7 basic fighting energies. It was originally only 6, but I wanted to add that 7th one just to have a little more consistency with Max Elixir and Energy Switch. But overall, just a way to charge up Zygarde, use All Cells Burn, take instant knockouts, and of course you can take smaller knockouts on Shaman EXs even and stuff like that despite resistance just by getting a couple energy onto Zygarde, maybe a couple Regirocks down in your stadium. So sometimes that can also just prove to be equally as beneficial. But that's Zygarde, Regirock, Carbink, and that's what I got for you guys right now. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you guys again soon. Cheers!